The crystalline spires of the Galactic Council headquarters gleamed under the twin suns of Nexus Prime, their surfaces reflecting the shocked expressions of delegates from across the galaxy. Commander Adnan Khan stood at the center of the great amphitheater, his human uniform a stark contrast to the exotic form surrounding him. Beside him, Lieutenant Kinza Ahmad held a datapad containing information that would forever change how the galaxy viewed humanity. The Zephyrian delegate, its translucent blue form shimmering with disbelief, spoke first. "This cannot be accurate. The humans were supposed to be pacified within solar cycles. Our intelligence indicated they possessed primitive kinetic weapons and basic nuclear capabilities." Adnan's jaw tightened as he remembered the smoking ruins of Luna Base, where 3,000 human colonists had perished in what the hegemony called a demonstration of superior force. The attack had been meant to break human spirit, to force Earth into submission before the might of the galactic powers. Instead, it had awakened something the galaxy had never encountered before. "Your intelligence was flawed," Kinza stated, her voice carrying across the vast chamber through universal translators. "You underestimated not our technology, but our capacity for adaptation and our refusal to yield." The assembled delegates murmured in their various languages and communication methods. The insectoid hive speakers clicked their mandibles in rapid patterns, while the gaseous ethereals pulsed with agitated colors. For millennia, these species had expanded across the galaxy, absorbing or eliminating any civilization that dared resist their collective might. Earth was supposed to be just another conquest. High Counselor Vexitar, a towering reptilian being with scales that reflected his emotional state, leaned forward. "Explain to this council how a single world, isolated and technologically inferior, managed to destroy 7 of our most advanced battle fleets." Adnan exchanged a glance with Kinza. They had rehearsed this moment, but standing before the most powerful beings in the galaxy still sent adrenaline coursing through their veins. "Because you made the fundamental error of judging us by your own standards," he began. "When you attacked Luna Base," Kinza continued, "you expected us to surrender out of fear. Instead, every human death became a rallying cry. Within hours of the attack, our global defense networks were fully integrated. Scientists who had spent years in peaceful research turned their attention to warfare. The holographic display above them flickered to life, showing the aftermath of humanity's counterattack. Massive hegemony dreadnoughts floated as lifeless hulks in space, their energy shields pierced by weapons that should have been impossible for humans to develop. "Dr. Sarah Chen cracked your shield harmonics in 36 hours, Adnan explained. "Your own energy signatures became your weakness. We built resonance disruptors that turned your impenetrable barriers into conducting channels for our nuclear payloads." A wave of shocked silence swept through the chamber. The energy shield technology had protected galactic civilizations for thousands of years. That primitive humans had found a way to weaponize it against them was inconceivable. But Kinza wasn't finished. "Captain Martinez developed swarm tactics using our mining drones. Thousands of small expendable units overwhelming your precision-targeted defense systems. Admiral Thompson retrofitted our cargo vessels with jump drives salvaged from your own wreckage, turning merchant ships into surprise attack vessels. The Galactic Council had expected humans to fight like every other species they'd encountered, with rigid hierarchies, predictable strategies, and surrender when faced with overwhelming odds. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy that seemed to reinvent warfare with every engagement. Your military doctrine assumes rational actors making calculated decisions," Adnan said, stepping closer to the council podium. "But humans don't just fight for territory or resources. We fight for an idea, that no one has the right to determine our destiny but us." Vextar's scale shifted to deep crimson, a sign of barely controlled rage. "You speak of defiance as if it were a virtue. Your world hangs by a thread. One command from this council, and Earth becomes cosmic dust." Kinza smiled, and that expression sent chills through beings who had witnessed the destruction of entire star systems. "Earth stopped hanging by threads the moment you attacked Luna Base. While you've been deliberating here, our deep space monitoring stations detected your reserve fleets moving into position. Admiral Rodriguez is waiting for them." The main display shifted to show real-time footage from the outer system. As the council watched in horror, massive human vessels, clearly jury-rigged from civilian infrastructure, emerged from asteroid fields and gas giant shadows. They moved with purpose and coordination that spoke of months of preparation. You see, Adnan said, humans have this remarkable ability to unite against external threats. Our species has survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and near-extinction events. Each time we've emerged stronger and more determined. You attacked one human settlement and awakened the entire species. The ethereal representative pulsed with rapid patterns of light, their species equivalent of stammering. Through their translator, the message came across as fragmented. Impossible. Tactical doctrine, complete restructuring. How do they adapt so quickly? Because, Kinza answered, human survival has never been about being the strongest or having the best technology. It's about being the most stubborn, the most creative, and the most unwilling to accept defeat. Every disaster in our history has taught us the same lesson. When everything seems hopeless, you don't give up. You get creative. The chamber fell into uneasy silence as the implications sank in. These beings had conquered hundreds of worlds by demonstrating overwhelming force and expecting rational surrender. They had never encountered a species that treated apparent hopelessness as motivation for innovation. High Counselor Vextar slowly rose from his seat, his scales now a pale, sickly color. What are your terms? Adnan straightened, feeling the weight of history on his shoulders. Recognition of Earth's sovereignty and membership in this council with full voting rights. Preparations for Luna Base and a non-aggression pact that extends to all human colonies and vessels. And if we refuse? The Zephyrian delegate whispered. Kinza's smile widened. Then you'll discover why humans have a saying, if you want peace, prepare for war. We've been preparing for 3 months now. I wonder how long you can sustain losses before your own populations start asking questions about the cost of this conquest. As the Galactic Council began emergency deliberations, Adnan and Kinza stood together, representatives of a species that had just announced to the galaxy that humanity would bow to no one. In the space of a few months, Earth had transformed from an isolated primitive world into a force that could make the galaxy's greatest powers reconsider their entire approach to expansion. The age of human submission was over. The age of human defiance had begun.